What's up, everybody? This is the Overlook. We are back with another one, the 10 Titanic captains. Today, we are talking about the corrupt king, Avalo Pizzaro. That's CJ right there at the Grand Line
Oh,
Gazette,
what up?
your one and only place for true One Piece news. We do not
Oh,
subscribe.
you're too kind.
We
You
do
too
not
kind.
subscribe to that hack Big News Morgans. We got our theory
Mm.
specialists, Tad and Kev, Triple T, Theories by Tad and Kev. Follow them. Look out for them.
Triple
Listen to
T.
them. This is the first time I ever said it. My name's Corey. Let's talk about the corrupt king. Just a little bit of a bio before we get into this. Avalo Pizzaro, also known as the corrupt king, was one of the criminals who was given a life sentence in level 6 of Impelled Down, as his crimes were so atrocious he had to effectively be erased from history. Prior to his life of crime, he was once a king of a North Blue kingdom that overthrew him for his despotic ways. He has since been freed by Marshal D. Teach and has become a member of the Blackbeard Pirates. He is currently one of the 10 Titanic captains, as the captain of the 4th ship. Oh, nice, right after our Van Auger one. Due to his actions and role, he is supporting antagonist in the Marineford arc, a minor antagonist in the Egghead arc, and a major antagonist in the final saga. Bam. And really quick, we're just going to go into his personality. This one's a little bit longer, so bear with me. In most of his appearances, he is usually seen smiling, even when attacking Whitebeard. He also seems somewhat nostalgic about things and has a tendency to say "nya" at the end of his sentences, the Japanese equivalent to meow. He also has quite a desire to become leader, as he was daring enough to ask, albeit in a joking manner, Teach to let him be a captain instead. He does seem to be somewhat resentful, though, of Teach dominating the news headlines and openly fantasizing about his name being in the news for quashing Monkey D. Garp's rescue mission on Hachinosu. He also seems to be cool-headed and react to most situations with a casual attitude, as he showed no signs of concern or anger when Moria and his zombies were rampaging on Hachinosu, only commenting that they were noisy while eating and asking questions to his men about Moria. Despite his lack of concern when Moria attacked Hachinosu, he is shown to not want to attract the ire of Teach, as he did not want himself, nor Vasco Shot or San Juan Wolf, to go after escaped prisoners due to the damage it could cause. During his time as king, he was corrupt and selfish, using royal privileges for his self-serving purposes that led to his people impeaching him. Being a king
is crazy.
Thank you. I just talked a lot, so you go from there. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about his devil fruit, the Shima Shima no Mi. It's also a paramecia fruit that allows him to assimilate his body into an island itself. Once assimilated,
Overpowered.
he can control both the natural environment and any artificial structure. While merged, yeah, fact. It reminds me of the guy from My
Pika.
Hero. No, My Hero, when the guy can control like the walls when they're facing the
Yeah. What is it, like the mental social whatever?
yeah, something like that. And then so it's really cool that he can kind of control it. He can make arms come out of the ground. It's pretty OP if he can really get a hold of it and kind of take it further. So he can manifest a face across the island and sides or on surfaces of history. So, I mean, he doesn't really use weapons. His fruit is usually his weapon. He's used guns, but that's about it.
Yeah, another one that is most likely way over reliant on his devil fruit. Nothing about his personality, nothing about his backstory says somebody that doesn't take the easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you mean. Yeah, because it's like if you have all that stuff and the resources and you're at the top, why wouldn't you?
And his fruit isn't good for a 1v1 fight, but it is definitely good to have as your home bait. So it's very useful for how they use it. In like the latest episode, you saw how like he was looking for Kobe without moving. He was kind of like looking around on his body, so he's able to really hold down a fort, which is really good for the pirates, especially when you're trying to start a kingdom. I think his power isn't one.
Corey, you know that comic where they were trying to talk about Sandman and they were trying to get the idea across where there's only one specific colonel that is the real Sandman and everything else was around?
Yeah.
I think it like with him, Pizarro having the island fruit or whatever, it just seems like a big game of hide and seek. Because Kevin was talking about like a one-on-one. So the one person who Pizarro's fighting has to find where Pizarro actually is. Like you can attack the island, but that's not him.
I think
He's
that's
like a
how.
tight.
I think that's how Pika's was, where he was constantly in different places. I
Yeah.
think Pizarro stays in the same place. I think he's just up there, but he's like melded to the ground or something like that. Unless it, but that is exactly how Pika's work. So it could be exactly how Pika's Devil Fruit worked too.
Yeah.
That could be part of like how they beat him. Like, oh, he has to be at the highest point in order to use it.
And confident
Yeah.
or something like that. Like he
And-
sees himself as the king, so he's at the top
Exactly.
looking down. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's like in the rock or something. Like I'm thinking like a Titan from Attack on Titan. Back of his neck or something like that.
Yeah.
You have to cut it
Yeah.
out to beat him. Because if you break off pieces of the island, he's still a part of the main island.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just moves to another part of the island or
Exactly.
something like that. Kind of like
Something,
Mr.
yeah.
Fantastic moving his organs around.
Yeah. And
I like
Well,
that. Yeah, exactly.
Pika's was more stone too. So I guess if there wasn't any stone, he couldn't
Yeah.
use it. So I guess
Yeah.
I mean it could be used the exact same.
Agreed. The answer is we don't know yet. I mean, we haven't seen the full extent of what he can do. I mean, it's really helping out find Kobe in the recent chapters. But
I'm
outside of that,
interested.
he's-
I'm interested in the fact that he wanted to be a captain, became a captain, but he's also plotting on Blackbeard. Like that should be in this shit.
Yeah. He's
he's
also-
not really,
that's-
he's not really
that's your
plotting. He's not really plotting against him. He's just kind of hoping for his downfall.
Plotting on
but-
the downfall.
Yeah, if he if it happens, he won't be sad, but he's not
Yeah,
looking
no.
to do it. Is how I'm thinking of it. But he knows he has a better shot of succeeding with Blackbeard. I think it's obvious to everyone. That's why follow.
Like none of his
Yeah.
people. Yeah. Well, never mind. Blackbeard's people seem loyal. I was talking about Buggy. I don't know. Actually, never mind. I just regarded my last statement. But let's talk about he was a Titanic. Not Titanic. He was a tyrant. That's the word I'm looking for. He was a tyrant in the North Blue. So bad that they got him out of there and threw him in Impelled Down level 6 where they erase you from history. So they probably burned him from the books. There's no record of him. So when he pops back up, like it could have been a couple of generations. Like, it could have been a couple of years since he's been there. There's cool generations that don't even know about him from his own place. But there are other people who are terrified of his name.
Do you think Sanji would know about him?
Now, I don't know. But that's the thing.
Or in general?
He was, what's the word, impeached? He was impeached as a king, which is pretty fucking hard to do outside killing him. But let's talk about some of these people in the North Blue. The Germa kingdoms in the North Blue doing what they do.
What crazy would it be if he ran the German kingdom?
The homeland of Mont Blanc and Doland, where the Don Quixote pirates were founded. Yeah. That's where all the stuff happened with Law, where they were just burning countries down because of the sickness.
Yeah.
That's the perfect final fight for them. Because he can just stab through his like whole entire body. And he finds out that that Pizarro implemented the barrier around his home where now he couldn't get help.
Or
And
Pizarro, right there. Pizarro wanted the stuff that was in the mines. He was like, whatever,
Yeah.
man.
Yep, and that's why they overthrew him because, oh, dude.
Because it
that's
doesn't
perfect.
say where he's from.
Yeah, exactly.
Aside from North Blue, but
Yeah.
a kingdom.
That is kind
They
of
got
crazy.
them.
Now,
I'd love to see that.
now, do we think he's like part mink, right? Something's going on.
I do. Because of Meow. Nekomushi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He also has one tooth in front of his face. Like,
and
Meow.
He's
horns.
missing
It looks
teeth.
like.
yeah, and I'm like, but those horns have like little metal bars. I wonder if those are just.
Yeah,
Jack had horns, though. But Jack's a fishman, not a mink. Oh,
Yeah.
wasn't he half and half?
Yeah, he was a half.
no, he was a fish man who ate the elephant.
No,
because he was
the
able to
guy
breathe
on
underwater,
Doflamingo's crew was half and half, like a half fisherman, half normal person.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that. I mean, we've talked about this on I think the previous video with the dude from the East Blue that looked like a mouse. Like that guy wasn't part mink or not. Maybe he was. Maybe he was part mink. Like some of these people that just look like animals, like that
it's just
marine
weird
guy.
to say the meow thing.
Yeah,
Like that's an obvious. Like to me, that's how they're telling us he is part mink is by him. But I could be
Would've
reading
been
too
a-
much into.
I agree, but the giveaway would have been if he said Gara or some shit. Gara.
yeah, yeah. He
That
would
was
have to
gonna
say
dead
gotta.
giveaway. Like,
Yeah. You're right.
True. What do you guys think? How does his powers improve? Let's theorize a little bit about. Is he able to move the island? Is he able to grow
should-
larger?
Yeah, like he should be able to do certain things like Blackbeard and his crew, safe and others not on the island. He's doing some other shit. He should just be able to like move them like a conveyor belt to wherever they're trying to go, lift them up and shit.
Like
Like-
mobile.
Like it's
Mobile.
he's just Play-Doh. So you were able to mold it and give yourselves, the Blackbeard pirates, the high ground, so to speak. And you always put yourselves in more advantageous positions. You're basically the earthbender, making all the walls around your teammates because you're seeing everything that's going on, or feel it at least.
Now,
Like,
is this a thing where we think, is he going to use the island fruit to move Hachinosu and just assimilate other islands? Because if he just
That would
runs
be
into
perfect.
another
Yeah.
island, he can just combine it. And
Yeah,
it's like,
because,
bam,
like-
that's my kingdom.
right?
And
Any giant who can do the continent puller or whatever else, fuck, because all a continent is a giant ass island.
And then him and Luffy are on the same side because it's Luffy's goal for everyone to be able to go.
That would be crazy. It's like, we have the same dream, bro. One Earth, one world, bro.
Luffy doesn't want to be king. Luffy doesn't want to be a conqueror. It's gonna be Luffy and Blackbeard against Shanks and Buggy at the end. It's gonna be crazy.
But yeah, you have your continent puller, and you have this guy who can turn himself into a continent. Like, I think that is Blackbeard's play, is to have Hachinosu run into other islands and just keep assimilating more and more.
It's a better play than Kaido's. Because Kaido was just trying to lift Onigashima and put it on the flower capital and just be like, ha, this is the new capital. Onigashima is the capital of Wano. But this
He's literally
nigga
trying
just
to
go
drop-
island to island, just backtrack where they've been and just
Like-
make that it's all
That's
one
true.
big ass.
But Kaido also really liked Wano, like the security there, the weapons factories that he could make and stuff like that. And he was always drunk. He was only using what the resources he had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when
Randomly-
you're drunk,
it all-
everything sounds like a good idea. Though.
He had a bunch of zones. He
Drop
didn't have
an island.
paramecia. He didn't have special paramecia. He had a bunch of zones.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I got like 4 different looking T-Rexes. Like,
You're right.
oh, this one's a traitor. But yeah, I think that would be crazy.
He's
And,
just absorbing islands on the.
and
Because
it's like,
you just take a hand and they grab the other one and then you bring it closer and now you can move on that one too. Yeah.
write down in the comments below who you guys want Pizzaro to fight. I think our idea about Law is pretty good. Who else could he possibly fight?
Pizarro would
If he
have to-
becomes
Morley.
a mech, island, maybe he fights
Morley.
Frankie.
I was gonna say
Frankie
Morley
goes
or somebody with
Gundam.
a swim fruit.
Oh yeah, a senior pink.
Well, not
If
even
he's
him,
not
like the Seraphim, if they even still work.
Oh right, right. They're with the Marines.
Morley
right?
though,
So,
Morley would be good because he can just dig through everything. And then at least okay, so Morley and a team of people, but Morley is like the person we need. Yeah.
Yeah, he grows an arm, so if he can grow other body parts, I could definitely see him facing Frankie
an
full
an
robot
island
form.
version of Rob. Like he's like an island version of Robin. Like he can just grow shit and move shit and have appendages elsewhere. My question was like, if he can assimilate islands, which island would you like to see him assimilate for Tahachi Inazu?
That's a good one.
Yeah, write that shit down. Write that in the comments.
Yeah, but I guess it's like you got to get one of the islands that are close, and there's only a few islands that are close.
And they have to be small enough.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But that's just the ones we've heard about. There are more islands. They're just not ones in the direction of the One Piece.
Sure.
So,
or they are, but that's not the route that was taken.
Or he could double back and get all of his Whitebeard Kingdom islands that he already has. He's like, oh, this is his territory. I'll just connect the whole territory. And it's just one giant continent.
Bro, imagine if he creates one just long strip of land from the Grand Line or the Red Line to the Red Line.
Like he makes a new red line.
Yeah, but it goes perpendicular.
Like why are we not thinking about Pizzaro destroying the red line?
Because we've already been told how it gets destroyed.
Yeah, but we get told.
That's fair.
No,
that's fair. That's fair.
But
go ahead,
she said that he was there when it was destroyed. Like they didn't say specifically Luffy. It could be Katarina Devon. That's there.
No, that's true. That's true.
That was my assumption. It was like once we found out about Katarina, I was like, oh, well then either that or that's if it's done and batted with malice. If it's done to just, hey, guess what? This is a giant. Or if, hey, here comes the giant fist. You can also
move
just do
this
that.
shit out the way here, Shirahoshi. Move it. I trust you. I can't do it. Well, send the Sea Kings, the Sea Beasts. Move this shit out the way, Shirahoshi. Here it comes. I would be in the camp of Katarina Devon just for the. I used to be Von Clay, but then like understanding how his powers work, I would be in the camp of Katarina Devon doing that shit because she can take on your visage and appearance, like even your clothes. And the thing was like, in the Vision, Luffy or the Prophecy, Luffy had the straw hat.
Yeah, maybe just the straw hat part's true. Who knows? I was thinking Bonnie could be wearing the straw hat when they destroy it.
Yeah, it was you then would have to do a similar thing where it's like Nami at Kokoyashi Village where Luffy gave this straw hat willingly for a means to an end, but then you already have him and Bonnie bonding at Egghead, so would that still be warranted?
But Bonnie's fight is with the Goros because their cruelty. Anyway, we can go with that.
Yeah. I can see Luffy definitely helping and going up against the Gorosei just because of like the whole interaction on Egghead where he realized Kuma was her dad and he was just calling him like a cyborg and robot and all that stuff and just the pain that goes back and forth. And then they're both like fighting Saturn together. I can see it just escalating and continuing. If she asked him or fed him, I could see it happening.
Well, you guys let us know in the comments. Who do you guys like so far as the Titanic captains? Who do you guys want us to review next? Let us know.
Yeah, we've done number 3 and we've done number 4. So we're gonna pick some random ones next, and we'll see. Maybe they do something cool in the manga. Maybe they do something cool in the next episode. So we'll like scoot them up on the list. But yeah, let us know how you guys feel about that in the comments below, and we will be back for another one next time.
Peace. And all that.